Hey guys, good morning. Oh, keep saying good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Yes, I'm out with my pack. Yes, my trio. I got here maybe 40 minutes ago. I'm out at Central Park. Let me show you what that looks like. Let me turn around the toggle the switch here. Look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm in the shade right now. I'm gonna do a whole circuit. Yeah. And it's my pack here, my little babies. Say hello, guys. Ruff, ruff. Yes, hello, viewer. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Yeah, these are my pack with me. Yeah, don't be shy. Don't be shy. My little cupcakes. Yeah, these are my little cupcakes. Yes, hello, viewers. And turn it back. Yes, good afternoon. Put out and about in Central Park, my phone. Yeah. So how you guys doing? I hope you're all well. Yeah, where's my glasses? Oh, my glasses in my pack. Just in case you guys write notes, I have to use these little props. Let me just do this real quick. Yeah, I got to put on my glasses in case someone has a comment to write about. I mean, a comment to share. Yeah. Yeah, I can't read without them. It's really bad. I used to have really, really good eyesight. Yeah. Yes, I'm in Central Park, the beautiful Central Park. But this time I'm at a different area. I'm not at the Ramble. Yes, let's see, this is near the beginning of Central Park. And so it'll be easy to exit, you know? Yeah, I didn't want to go too far out today. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Planet. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, so how's your day going? I hope it's doing good. Yeah, yeah, today is okay. Um, I got up, I did my basic routine and took my nice hot shower. I got the dog settled. Oh, I removed my dog Lily, her stitches. Yep. I didn't bring her to the vet to get it removed. Yeah, they really did a number on her leg. I went to two vets, and I don't know. I think some of these, medical practitioners are questionable here in New York. But I removed the stitches without incidents or anything, and her leg had healed pretty good. I think she's getting real active, and I don't want her to get too active because that's what happened. She was like jumping around in the apartment and doing what they call the zoomies, and her tendon ruptured. Yeah, it tore. So I have to, you know, make sure she doesn't do that again. But yeah, she's doing very well. Um, what else? Yeah, I had my breakfast. I've been eating a lot of grapefruit and let's see. Oh, yeah, I eat a lot of grapefruit, but I'll be having my grapefruit in the evening when I go home. But I had I had 3 eggs on these crackers, some peanut butter, and what else? I know I had something else. Oh, an avocado, one avocado. Yeah. And so, yeah, so in the evening I'll have my fruit, and I have to make sure I drink my water. Yeah, I find that if I don't get enough water, my legs might start to cramp up, and I have vertigo on this side of my head, and um, not being well hydrated could exacerbate the vertigo. So I have to remember no barking. That's a good boy. Yeah, yeah. Lavin is with me. Good boy, you didn't bark. I'm so happy. Yeah. So
You got a whole family there.
yeah, it's all good. Uh huh. So yeah, everybody, my crew's doing well and everything. And I wrote in the description the different things that I want to discuss in this video. Yeah, let me see now. Yeah, I put it down in the description. And so, yeah, when I got up this morning, um, I saw a video. And, oh, what's it about? He's a YouTuber that's into philosophy, and he shared about this movie, about the politics that happens, and it turns out he used to be living in New York, and he left. He moved back to Florida. I mean, he moved to Florida from New York, and but he mentioned a movie called Escape from New York, and I never heard of that movie, so I checked it out. And Escape from New York, um, I saw one of the clips on it. Real 80s looking, yep. And in particular with this movie, they showed um, they showed something about um, doing. I don't want to say the word to get my this video flagged, whatever. But the T word, when what happened like in 9/11. Well, that's what happened in the movie. They showed uh, either one or two planes entry. It was like a computer generated uh, thing, and the plane entered inside a tall skyscraper. Yep. This movie, Escape from New York, was by the director John Carpenter. John Carpenter is the same guy who did the movie They're Here, I think called, no, They Live. That one I think came out in 1986 or 87, the movie They Live. And here, that one also was to show something more futuristic, in the near future, what um, is happening behind the scenes. Yeah, I think some of these directors, they're actually telling you what's going on. So, so why I mentioned about this movie, Escape from New York, not just because I live in New York City, but the direction that social media and media in general, what they expose you to, because they want to orient you to believe in certain things. And it's part of what we call social engineering. Social engineering is about getting your mind to think in ways to steer it in the direction where they want you to end up. And in the end, this social directing is not going to be in your benefit. You stay there, you stay there, you stay there. My little boy. So I'm also thinking about the reality of that, of being socially directed. Um, when I was looking at my YouTube channel, Spirit Journey, and like sometimes, like you may find a new topic on YouTube and it captures your fancy. And in particular, I came across a channel It's a black a black guy. I'm not sure where he's from, whether he's from the Caribbean or some part of Africa. He said he's not American, but he talked about he interviews. No barking, no barking. That's a good boy. No barking. Good boy, good boy, good boy. So this YouTuber interviews people. No barking. Such a good boy. That's a good boy, Lavin. That's a good boy. Good boy, no bar. Good boy. Okay. Yeah, a lot of dogs are walking past now. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's looking at me. Yeah, so this black YouTuber, I think he's actually living in Japan. And you know, his channel focuses on interviewing black people from around the world, and a lot of them are from the West Indies. At least their accent sounds like people from the West Indies and also parts of Africa. And what is life like for being a black person living in Japan? And so I came across that video no more than 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was really interesting. And one of the people in particular I thought was really interesting. He was from the Northeast, and he got there at a young age. He was 21 when he arrived. He's in like a news report, um, newscaster, something like that. He has a really nice voice, and he's been there since. So that's like almost 40 years. He was there for about 39 years, and we're about the same age. And he had said that living in Japan makes him feel like a free black man. And it really stood out when he said that. But upon watching that video, I also watched maybe a total of 5 different videos on this other guy's YouTube channel. And so some days passed, and then I went on a different computer. I have more than one computer, and I just access my YouTube using this other computer I have in my home. And I was really surprised, but much of the videos, like, you know, when you turn on, you know, put on YouTube, it gives you like you press the home button and you find like the general YouTubes based on, I guess, different algorithms, what you've watched in the past. Well, a whole slew of videos on blacks being overseas, what their life is like living in a foreign country. And I was really surprised at that. And it's like, why? See, things happen for a reason. Not that I mind them sending me those recommendations, but why? Why are they sending me these recommendations? So I think it's all part of the social engineering. Like sometimes, like they're steering you in a possible, again, social engineering, social directing, what you should be thinking about. And so YouTube now is reminding me, hey, you watch that YouTube channel. Hey, maybe you should be focusing on that. Okay? So that's what I mean by social engineering, that it's more than just by accident or just show you 1 or 2 referrals, because why is that some people's videos are being circulated even if you didn't solicit? Like one time um, I had like a notification, and I didn't recognize the YouTuber. I have many subscriptions to YouTube. I mean, many people who I subscribe to on YouTube. But people are even telling me that they are no longer getting my videos, you know, a notification that my videos have been uploaded, new notifications. And they were like, they were like thinking about me and they said, hey, I haven't gotten anything from her. Let me just uh, type in her name, her channel name to see what happens. Maybe she left. And then they find my video and they say, oh, wow, we've stopped getting notification. So why is it that some people's videos are not being circulated to YouTube, to their subscribers? Oh, so that, I almost forgot. So I was recommended a video as if I was subscribed to them. And it turned out that this video was also circulated to other people that they didn't subscribe to. And someone made reference to it. Yeah, that's what it was. So I had noticed it and I did play it. I don't even remember what it was, but I was surprised. Well, why did I get this? I don't know who this person is. And other people on YouTube that I've been watching on and off, they made mention about it too. So again, they choose what videos they want you to see. They choose who they want to ban, and I don't think it's fair. So if you're going to show some, but not all, if all things are being equal, but I'm seeing that it's not equal, YouTube. It doesn't play fair at all. And then you're wondering, hey, what's going on? It's social engineering. Social engineering by um, expose, exposing you to things, exposing you to material that they want you to know, that they want you to be preoccupied with. So this is a form of social engineering as well, okay? But I think about it. I say, um, I do ask myself, would I want to move away? There was again another killing of a young black man just yesterday. I forget what's the it's in Atlanta, Georgia. Another and caught on tape. The what do you call it, the chief of police, a woman, she resigned. So what is happening? Is this new killing going to be shared on the internet like George Floyd? George Floyd was just buried. So what's happening? Why was there another senseless killing? Deadly force. Use deadly force when someone is trying to kill you. But things are happening, and maybe again they want you to see these things, and maybe they want to show you and redirect you to videos such as blacks who are living in other countries, because maybe they want you to move. That's my point. That maybe they want you to move. But if I do go, these are the thoughts that I have. Let's say I move and I have a good time overseas. Well, things can happen. Like, see, people don't mind if one or two people live somewhere and you assimilate, you learn the language and the culture. But when there's a community of you, when there's a group of you, people may change. People's sentiment about you may change. And that's what my concern is. So you cannot run away from yourself. So whether you live here in the United States, let's say you're just one black person and you live in the middle of nowhere, again, one person, they may watch on the corner of their eye. They may not say anything to you directly. But when it's a collective, that's what makes some people react. Okay, and all of a sudden rules and regulations may change for you. So that's why part of me is saying, why should I leave? I really want to stay here. I mean, just look at this weather. Let me remind you again. Let me show you how beautiful it's outside. See how beautiful this is? This is beautiful. This is what life is really all about. It's about enjoying you, enjoying your family. See that, my little babies here? This is what life is all about. I'm a veteran. I served my country. I was born and raised here. My parents are born and raised here. Why should I leave this? United States really is a great place, but it's a lot of corruption. It's a lot of corruption going on. And why, I don't know. I mean, this country has a lot of wealth, a lot of positive things, but it's just corrupted. And who is it corrupted by? Okay. And in my first video that I did this morning, I talk about the possible reasons what's working behind the scenes. And as I mentioned in that video about what they call UFOs, there's a program, not a program, this YouTuber, farsight.org. Okay, they have a YouTube channel and they do remote viewing. And it seems like many of the remote viewing sessions that they do, and again, remote viewing is a type of, you do it like a meditation and you have uh, you have something written on a paper, excuse me, something written down. No, no barking, no barking, no barking. It's okay. Blow it out, blow it out. You should see my little boy. Look at him. He just wanted to bark, bark, bark. Oh, that's a good boy. Good boy. I love you, yeah. Okay, so what's happening? Oh, what was I just saying now? Oh, yeah, the Farsight Institute, what remote viewing is. Now, remote viewing, what you do, you have someone investigate something. It's really hard to explain. Like, let's say you want to know um, what's in Area 51. And so you have a person that writes that question down. They say, Area 51, what's in it? And then they go to another person who's trained at remote viewing to be able to psychically uh, find out what's in Area 51, let's say. Um, but they don't know, I mean, they're not told to look into it, but they're given this paper, and it's like in an envelope. And they psychically tap into the information in the envelope, look at the coordinates of where something is and what's in it. And they psychically is able to gather the information. And sometimes they able to see things with see things psychically, in their third eye, or they have they don't, or maybe they may not actually see it, but they perceive certain information. That's a type of remote viewing. And surprisingly, many of the remote viewing sessions that he's been doing involves UFOs and them having contact here on this planet and interacting with the people and abductions. So I'm wondering whether any of this, I know it sounds really, really far-fetched. I know you're saying, well, what does one have to do with the other? Well, don't you notice, like, well, in one of these remote viewing sessions that I was looking at, uh, they remote viewed that they were spacecrafts and they were emitting these uh, uh, electric, some type of frequency out, and it was targeted upon communities. And these communities started to act out. Well, anyway, now I don't know whether that's true or not, but I have heard of devices that they've been using in the media. Yes, hello, viewer. Hello. Yes, I have heard of devices such as the voice of God technology that they can make you hear voices, electromagnetic frequency devices that can give you headache, to give you the sensation that you're on fire, and they use that for warfare. All types of these new weaponries that they use against populations. So the past month or so, those riots that was going on, what if people are being manipulated via these technologies? That's what I'm getting at. So what may seem unrelated may be possibly directly related. Why is that? I mean, it's not the first time that someone died at the police's hand, but why now? Or the riots? Well, they may be exasperating things, I mean, escalating it even further through the use of these new technical devices that causes great mental instability, social instability, rioting, fighting, right? So it could be things like that being used. Yes, dots. If everything is really the same as the year before, the year before, year before, why is certain things happening? You have to ask this. And there's always an agenda. And maybe what they're trying to do is to tip the scale to make you want to leave this country, right? So all of a sudden now I'm being redirected on YouTube videos of black people who live overseas, okay? And then another YouTuber that I've been watching making reference from a movie called Escape from New York. And in that movie, it's a 1981 movie, and it has a part of some tall skyscraper being attacked by a plane being used as a missile and destroying a building. I've never heard of such thing that happening. Never. And I even heard that like in the year 2001, there was a movie that came out or was to come out later that year. And what did that movie have? About a plane entering a building and being used as a missile. I would think it's far-fetched if someone would have told me that in 1980. It's unheard of. I have here, what is spiritual awakening? I mean, many of us have heard that term, spiritual awakening. I mean, like being in a place like this, um, I think spiritual awakening is like you release one thing, you're releasing your hand like, you ever heard of the story about the monkey who and the monkey won't release his fist because he doesn't want to drop the cookie to release his hand, you know? Well, let's say one day you release your hand from the jar. Your mind is so fixated on that cookie, but maybe there's more cookies over there that you can get and it's better for you. So you release the hand from the jar, okay? And then you can start thinking of other things. Maybe spiritual awakening is something like that, that you're so fixated on one thing, on one reality. And yeah, unlike many people here, I'm no different than you guys. You wake up, especially those who live in a big city like I do. I live in New York City. and you ask yourself, what is going on? You see a lot of injustices, and your mind is so preoccupied. Yeah, my mind was preoccupied maybe 99% of the time with garbage. And it makes you feel vulnerable, angry, fearful. So I think in answering the question, what is spiritual awakening? I guess it's realize you need to, you finally let loose of that cookie from that jar. And you're really able to venture and see that there are other stuff, other cookies and crumbs out there, you know? I think also spiritual awakening, um, for me, like I was introduced to uh, what they call meditation, and I've been seeing things. I have seen things like UFOs during a meditation. I've seen UFOs um, several times. Two were very, very clear. And the other times it was kind of faint what I was seeing. But yeah, those two instances, I said, wow. The latest, it happened uh, maybe 2 months ago. I saw a fleet of spacecrafts. Um, it looked like it was out in space, and they were all identical. They were round in shape, but I mean, not a saucer per se, but imagine you take two bowls and put them upon each other. So it was kind of chunky. And it had a lot of devices on the outside of it. And they were kind of like bobbing up and down a little bit, almost like it's in water, but it was out in space. The background was jet black, and it looked like it was out in space, and I'm seeing these crafts. It was a whole fleet, a lot of, like, could have been hundreds. I believe they really exist. They exist. Spacecrafts exist. And I believe that so-called aliens exist. There are all different types of beings out there. Just like there's all different types of life on this planet. You have people, you even have microbiology. I had to take a microbiology course in college. Yes, I was a science major, and you'll see things that you think that Hollywood created. Well, Hollywood does its homework, and possibly they took a microbiology classes. Yeah, they're microscopic animals or beings, or I should say lives. Yeah, and they're really unique. Some of them. Yeah, and let's say in the water, they're probably microscopic animals that live in water. They're probably microscopic things in the air. So why not having living things up in space? Not everything requires oxygen to live. There's things that are aerobic, or anaerobic. I think it's called anaerobic. Means without oxygen, that they thrive without oxygen. Yeah, yeah, there are things out there, and I think there's a possibility that there are multi-dimensionals. Now, I have seen things, or um, it was during, let's see, I saw people outside. I've never met these people. It was like I was looking up from, as if I'm top of a tree and looking downward. And I'm looking at people. Sometimes it looks like I'm looking through a screen, like a TV screen. And other times I've seen things. It looks three-dimensional, like I'm there. And it's clear when it looks three-dimensional, it looks more detailed than it is in so-called natural life, like right now. Yeah. So I know through experience that there's more to life that you see with your eyes, but yet the current system, I think it's trying to distract you, to not see or um, have the time to look at or different dimensions. They want to keep you stagnant. They want you preoccupied with race, with gender. Don't you notice that the list keeps on increasing and increasing for uh, this society? We get richer, but we're more biased. Why is that? Okay. The last thing I have here on my list is why are we forgetting as we age? That's a biggie. Don't you, have you been noticing that it's harder for you to retrieve data? Like I, I would say I was able to remember with great detail things. I wish I would like that with my schoolwork, but general things, remember such and such happened, whatever, I could remember with such detail. And now I find that it's harder for me to recall things. So you might notice a lot of times I put dates on things like the videos, I write the date, because I do that so I could keep a track of when certain things were um, revealed to me. I do this channel also like a diary, and so I want to find out in relationship to when one event happened from another event for me to make it um, like a chronology. Yeah, it helps me think out. So that's why I do that because I find that I might forget like when something happened. Like I might know something happened, but I don't remember when, and everything gets jobbled of time frame. And that could just be normal, normal aging. When you hit menopause, uh, you don't remember as clearly. That's what my gynecologist told me that happens to most women when your estrogen level decreases, um, the memory. So, but as to why, so that's one aspect of forgetting. Estrogen, hormones levels change. So, um, it affects your thinking. But what if we are forgetting because, let's say, the food, what they're putting in the food, or what about the devices? Now, I finished. I finished my college in 2011. But before I graduated, I was only on the computer doing schoolwork. I wasn't really into the videos as I am now. But I find I'm on the internet all the time, and I'm concerned that the devices that we use could be interfering with our ability to remember things, to remember details. It just kind of keeps you like in the moment. You may not remember, but maybe you remember the feelings that you had. So you walk around not remembering, but you remember that you had the feelings associated with certain things, and you don't remember why. I'm really concerned about the devices. Um, so what I basically do now, I may do like in this case the live stream, to do the live uh, because I don't have to do any editing. It's just uploaded. But yeah, start asking yourself these questions. Do you find yourself forgetting, forgetting the things that uh, used to readily remember? Ask yourself these things. Find uh, pains in the neck, pains, stiffness in the joint, and you're not like overweight, and you're eating basically a good diet. Ask yourself these things. So that's all that I have on my list here, these things that I wanted to talk about. Uh, and if no one has any questions to ask me, um, yeah, so I'm just gonna go and just enjoy the rest of the sun and enjoy my time at the park. Yeah, so that's all that I want to talk about then. And I thank you all for watching and stay safe. Continue to ask yourself questions why. If you find yourself um, getting cranky for no reason and neighbors acting all cranky, start asking yourself, why is this happening? Is your community being targeted by these devices to make you want to fight and do all types of? Thank you for watching and be safe.